Hi everybody, it's Miss Chrissy from the Hickory Corner Library, and today I want to show you how to make some yummy, delicious chocolate pudding. April Fools! It's actually chocolate slime we're going to make today. So let me show you how we're going to do this. Isn't this really, really cool? It's lots of fun. So, to make our chocolate slime, you're going to need some glue. In this case, I use clear glue. Ooh, look at this big bubble it made. That's lots of fun. So I use clear glue to start. You can use regular white glue if that's what you have. It won't be quite as dark, but you'll still get a brown color. And you could always add brown food coloring if you wanted it darker. But I didn't have to add anything since I started with clear glue. So clear glue is what I used. Some cocoa powder, not sweetened. This is just regular unsweetened cocoa powder just for baking. And then you're gonna need some baking soda and some water. And the water is optional, and I'll show you the differences as we're making it. So to start, I'm going to get my clear glue, and I'm going to put that in my bowl. So I'm using half a cup of glue here. Usually if you have just like a small container of glue, it's usually about 5 ounces of glue in there, but you could kind of measure out based on what you have. So you could always change this recipe based on however much glue you have. I always have like gallons of glue around. So I'm using half a cup right here, and then I'm using 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. I'm gonna mix that in. And I wanna try to get any of the lumps out. I want it to be like a nice smooth batter. So I'm just stirring it up right now, getting it mixed in there. Now I'm going to add some water as well. You can do this a couple different ways. You can do it where you add water and you add the same amount, so 1 part to 1 part, so 1 part glue, 1 part water. So in this case, I could do half a cup of glue like I just did, and then half a cup of water. Or you could do a 1/4 cup of water, split it in half, or no water. And let me show you the difference. Let me show you what no water is. So no water is more like a putty than like the super stretchy slime. I mean, it's still lots of fun. Some parents might prefer this kind rather than a super stretchy, just because the super stretchy tends to drip. This one's also nice and fun because, you know, you can kind of form things. It makes some really nice, excellent fake dog poop. So if you want to make that, you would go without any water. This one I made, let me get this out of here. It's been sitting in the cup a little bit. And actually, let's talk about that for a minute. So slime is a non-Newtonian fluid. What that means is that it has properties of both a solid and a liquid. One of the properties of a liquid is that it takes the shape of whatever it's in. So in this case, when I put the slime in there, it actually took the shape of the cup, just like if you were to put water in there like a fluid. But it also has properties of a solid. When I am able to move it together, I can form it into the shape of a ball, and it will hold that shape for a little bit. So that's kind of the difference. This one had half a cup of water. It's not super, super stretchy right now, but it will get stretchier over time. So I'm just gonna move that one to the side. So you can decide on how much water you want to add. And I'll show you like a little tip later if you end up adding too much and it's too drippy and sticking to everything. But so I have my glue, I have my cocoa powder. Now I'm gonna add my water. Like I said, I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of water. Mix that in, get it all really nice and smooth. Okay, so the glue was my polymer. A polymer is a chain of molecules. So instead of just the molecules being separate, like in the water, they're all together in a chain, which makes them sticky. They want to stay together. So it's the same thing, like if you have honey and it's dripping down the side of your container, or glue, when you pour glue and it likes to drip down the side, it's because they all want to stay together. So now I'm taking those polymers and I'm going to add an activator. I'm going to be using some saline solution. And actually, before I put that in, I'm going to put some baking soda. And so I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda I'm going to pour in here. The baking soda is what kind of helps it form together a bit. It makes it a little firmer. So remember I talked about if you added too much water and it was too drippy, just add more baking soda. Just slowly start kneading some in if it's really dripping and sticking to things. I'm going to put in my baking soda, 1 teaspoon. Stir that in. And then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of my saline solution. So I'm using a sensitive eye formula because what I want to make sure it has in it is a boric acid and sodium borate. So those are going to form borate ions, which are then going to make our chains of molecules cross-link and become strands of molecules and get all up in there really tight. And that's when you can form it into a ball and you have like a solid. And then it can also, they can move past each other and create like a liquid and be flowy like a liquid. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. One, sometimes it's hard to squeeze it out there. And 2. I'm gonna stir that up. I like to whip it around like I'm making a cake. You can see it's already coming together as slime. Looks like a really nice batter there. So it all comes together. Now you're gonna have to get your hands in here because you're gonna have to get it out of the bowl and play with it a bit. So let's roll up your sleeves. And I like to give it a little squirt again before I pick it up. That will make it less sticky. I'm going to start pulling it all out. And here is my slime. It's all ready to be played with. Now, if this was still sticky and was sticking to me, I could add more saline solution. Like I said, if it's too drippy and it's dripping everywhere, then use more baking soda. But this is just really fun to play with, and it smells delicious. And it is fun for tricking because it can look like pudding. It could look like dog poop. It could look like whatever you want to do, however you want to trick someone with it for April Fool's Day. And it also has some nice sounds because it makes lots of bubbles in there. And actually, maybe I can try to show you guys how to make a bubble. Let's see if I can get that. Let me see if I can tilt you a little down so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my slime down on the table here. I'm actually going to pull my hair back because I do not want my hair getting slime all it. So I'm going to take a straw. I'm going to take the bent end and I'm going to put it under the slime. And then I'm going to be holding down all the edges so no air can escape. And I'm going to blow into the straw. And I have this awesome bubble. Now that may take a little bit of practice, really just holding down the sides and making sure the air is not escaping. If you're getting fart noises, your air is escaping, so you've got to try again. Now look how drippy it is on my hands. Don't worry, we just roll it around again, non-Newtonian fluid. So it's going to go back to its shape when I'm rolling it around. Okay, so just like that, I roll it all back. And it's all good. Tilt you back up. So you can blow bubbles with it, you can have all sorts of fun. And if it did get in my hair, mayonnaise is the way to get it out. So you just rub mayonnaise on and use a comb and comb it right out. Also later, when you're cleaning your bowl, I try to get as much out of the bowl as possible. Makes it easier to clean. But as you're cleaning, you might end up noticing you'll get some stuck on your sponge and stuff. You can just dissolve that with vinegar. Same thing if it's on your clothing or if it's on your carpet or anything like that. All the reasons parents don't like to have slime in their house, vinegar will dissolve it, and so it will just dissolve right out. I've had kids full on covered in it, and the vinegar gets it right out of their clothing. So vinegar for clothing and upholstery, and mayonnaise for hair. Have lots of fun. And by the way, in case you're interested in knowing the history behind April Fool's Day, historians believe that back when France adopted the Gregorian calendar, they went from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, their New Year's moved from the spring equinox, which was usually around April 1st, to January 1st. Well, people who still continue to celebrate New Year's on April 1st were called an April Fool. So that's where we get April Fool's Day. So I hope you guys have a great April Fool's Day and have lots of fun playing with some chocolate slime. Have a great day.